The Gemara Masechet Shabbat, Daf Kuf Gimel 103a tells us that one of the melachot in the laws of Shabbat, one of the forbidden labors is writing, kotev. The Gemara tells us they used to write letters on the planks of the Mishkan to know where each one should go. So therefore we learn from there, some poskim say they used to write down the donations they used to have in the Mishkan, and that's what they did writing in the Mishkan. So therefore we learn from there the writing was one of the forbidden melachot on Shabbat. However, the poskim tell us, the Gemara tells us it has to be davar kiyum. From the Torah, the writing to be forbidden, it has to be something that lasts. Someone who writes something that doesn't last, only be asur mid'Rabbanan, but it's still asur. So if a person takes a sand and he writes in the sand, even though it's not going to last, it's going to get ruined, it's still asur mid'Rabbanan to write. If a person takes fruit juice or he takes water on the table, he takes a window that's wet and he draws something, he writes something, he writes letters over there, also be asur mid'Rabbanan, but not from the Torah. But it's still, even though it's not going to last, still it's asur mid'Rabbanan. You also have the flip side. The melacha, the opposite melacha of writing is mohek, is erasing. And they used to erase the letters on the Mishkan, the planks, in order to refix it and redo it when they needed to. So therefore, the Gemara says, only from the Torah, you are transgressing Shabbat when you erase on a condition to write. Many situations you have, for example, a cake. You have a cake that has letters and you want to cut into the cake. It says happy birthday and you want to cut the letters, right? It says Chodesh Tov and you want to cut the cake. So over there it will be a sur because they're erasing the letters. So the halacha it's mutar. Why? Because number one, we're not having in mind to write more letters. We're not erasing on menat lektov. We're not erasing in order to write. And also we're not doing it the regular way of erasing. Is this the regular way of erasing? No. So for these two derabanan and this particular shen terei derabanan that we don't care about, over there it will be mutar to cut the cake even if it's breaking the letters on the Shabbat. But we said, well, let's say a person wants to write happy birthday with cream on the cake. We said even though it's not going to last, it's still asur midrabanan. So therefore a person should try to avoid situations of mohek and kotev on the Shabbat. We'll end off with the, ready Mr. Brown, with the last story. Ready?
Not the last story.
For today, last story. Yeah. So there was a person who he was called by the nursing home one time that his mother was in a nursing home, and he got a phone call. They told him, "Please sit down for this phone call. It's a very serious phone call." He said, "What happened?" He said, "We don't know how to tell you, but your mother passed away. We should never know. Your guy's mother passed away. It was so broken, he didn't know what to do. He started crying on the phone. She said, "Listen, you got to put yourself together. You got to make this happen. You got to make arrangements. You got to go and bury your mother. You have to go and get a eulogy. You have to go and make a lot of arrangements. You got to put yourself together." So he puts himself together and he goes and he calls the funeral home. He buys a plot for thousands of dollars. He calls the rabbi, convinces the rabbi to come give a eulogy, and he does the whole 9 yards. Afterwards, a few days sitting on the second day of Shiva in his house. After they buried the mother in the rain. The rabbi gave eulogy. He was sitting in his house Shiva. All his family and friends came over, and all of a sudden there's a phone call. His cousin picks up the phone and she says, where is Abraham? Where is he? Tell him I'm on the phone waiting for him. So he says, what are you talking about? He goes to the living room and he says to Abraham, David, he says, listen, somebody's on the phone for you. I think you want to take this phone call. He says, there's the phone call. Tell him I'm in Shiva, I'm in Abelud, no phone calls. They want to see me, come see me. He says, no, trust me, you want to take this phone call. He goes, he takes up the phone, he says, hello. He says, Abrahamchik, where are you? I'm waiting for you. Every day you visit me in the nursing home. You didn't come past 3 days. Where are you? She said, what do you mean? Ima, where are we calling from? This is Ima? You calling from Olam Haba? Where are you calling from? What is this? He says, no, I'm in the nursing home waiting for him. What's going on? Just a boy. What's going to be with you? Where are you not coming? He said, one second. He hangs up the phone. He calls the nursing home. He says, excuse me, miss. I think I have a big problem now. He says, yeah, we wanted to call you. I'm sorry. We wanted to apologize that we called instead of 2A, we called 2B, the different patient. And we apologize. We told you the wrong lady died and you buried the wrong lady. He says, I'm very, very sorry. He says, I'm sorry? You're sorry is going to help me? I spent thousands of dollars. I ripped my shirt. I'm crying. Doing Avaluz, say Kaddish. I have the rabbi say eulogy. Oh, you're going to tell me I'm sorry? You wasted all my time? I'm sorry. He hung up the phone. He was so upset. He goes to his mother. He finally sees his mother. He hugs and kisses her. She's alive, thank God. He says, I'm so upset. He says, but you know what the right thing to do is? I want to tell, they didn't call the family. Somebody's mother died. Nobody called the family. So he goes and he calls the family and he wants to call the family. The mother says, no, don't do it. He says, why? It's the right thing to do. They don't know their mom died. No, don't do it. He goes, he says, I'm going to do it. He goes and he does it. He calls and he says, excuse me, I don't know how to tell you this, but your mother passed away. And but you should know, she was buried already. She got a Jewish burial. I said Kaddish. We did everything according to halacha. You should know, we took care A to Z. She said, what did the lady say on the phone? She's so lucky. She's so lucky, this lady. So lucky, my mother. He said, what do you mean? He says, this lady, I hated her. She disowned me. I married a goy, and she said, if you married this goy, we're not talking anymore. So there, what I told her, oh yeah, we're not talking anymore. I'm gonna cremate you. I'm gonna burn you when you die. And she went, and she didn't talk to her mother ever since. And the mom of Abraham said that every day he saw this mother in the nursing home. They were neighbors in the same room. He said, every day I saw this lady. She was praying day and night that she should have a Jewish burial. The power of a prayer and the power of a person thinking he's doing the wrong thing. He ended up doing the biggest mitzvah. Rabotai, we are doing mitzvah day and night. And the olam, the world, and many other people tell us, you're wasting your time, you're a fanatic, you're wasting, it's nonsense. Rabotai, you will see that come the day, you will realize how everything was the emet, and really HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so happy from this, the mitzvah we did, we will all have